Good day. The topic we are treating today is word problem 2. The last lesson we did, the topic is word problem 1, which is on sum, but this will be on difference by Opola Masurat. Lesson objectives. The objective of this video is to interpret and solve word problems involving differences, so that by the end of the lesson, you should be able to interpret and solve word problems involving subtraction. Difference is like sum. Sum is when you have two or more numbers together, the result you get is sum. But when you subtract two or more numbers, the result you get is difference. So here I'm going to talk about difference and the topics you must have been familiar with before you can watch this video for good understanding are consecutive numbers, odd numbers, even numbers, prime numbers, natural numbers, and negative numbers. Now we move to the main topic, which is difference. What is difference? The number you get when two or more numbers are subtracted from one another is called difference. When you subtract 3 from 2, the result you get is difference. So difference are in two forms. We have positive difference and negative difference. Positive difference occurs when you subtract a smaller number from a larger number. For example, if you subtract 2 from 3, 3 minus 2, you get a positive number, which is 1. That is positive difference. But if you subtract a larger number from a smaller number, you get a negative difference. For example, if you subtract 3 from 2, you get a positive number. 2 minus 3 will give -1. That is negative difference. So in differences, you have two options. It's either we have a positive difference when a smaller number is subtracted from a larger number, or we have negative difference, that is when a larger number is subtracted from a smaller number. You have to note that subtracted from. When they say a number is subtracted from another number, it means that other number minus the first number. If you say 9 is subtracted from 12, it means 12 minus 9. 10 subtracted from 13 means 13 minus 10. 3 subtracted from 2 means 2 minus 3. That is how to interpret that statement into numerical expression. So now it says the difference is positive when a smaller number is subtracted from a larger number, while the difference is negative if a larger number is subtracted from a smaller number. And this is an example. When a smaller number is subtracted from a larger number, you get a positive difference. You can see this is a positive number. And when a larger number is subtracted from a smaller number, you can see that 13 is greater than 8. We have a negative difference. Here we have a negative number. So now we move to examples. The first example says the difference between 19 and another number. We don't know if that number is greater than 19 or lesser than 19, but we know that the difference between 19 and that particular number we don't know is 53. So there are two possible values of that number. It's either the number is greater than 19 or less than 19. So second number says we should find the positive difference between 83 and 103. And for us to get a positive difference, we must subtract a smaller number from a larger number. So that's why they say positive difference. Assuming it is negative difference, we know that we have to subtract a larger number from smaller number. So this example 3 is the difference of 3 consecutive whole numbers is -81. We should find it. We already do that in sum. We know what consecutive numbers are, how to find the 3 consecutive numbers. So we take their difference and then we look for those 3 consecutive numbers in which if the second number is subtracted from the first number, the result we get, we subtract the third number from it, then we get -81. We look for those numbers in which if that particular operation is carried out on it, we get minus 81. So the same thing applies to the three consecutive odd number whose difference gives minus 207. We look for the number. The consecutive even number whose difference give minus 110, and the four consecutive negative number whose difference gives 12. So we find those numbers. Now we move to the solution of the example. The first example says a particular number and 19 are subtracted from one another. We don't know that number. We don't know if the number is greater than 19 or less than 19. So we are asked to find the two possible values. So let that number we don't know to be what? X. So the first possible situation we may have is that suppose the number is greater than 9. If the number is greater than 19, we have to subtract 19 from that particular number, because the question says the difference between 19 and another number. So if that number is greater than 19, we have to subtract 19 from that number. So the first situation is x greater than 19. So we subtract 19 from x, and we say that when 19 is subtracted from that number we don't know, the result is 53. We already talked about how to eradicate negative number in the previous lesson, that is sum. If you want to eradicate minus 19, you introduce plus 19, and whatever you do to the left hand side, you also do it to the right hand side. So x minus 19 plus 19 will be equals to x plus 0, which is x, and here we also had plus 19. Since we had plus 19 to this side, we had plus 19 to this side too. So 53 plus 19 will give 72. Therefore, x equals what? 72. So you know that x is greater than 19 now. 72 is greater than 19, and we should check 72 minus 19 will give what? 53. So the second situation is when x is less than 19. If that particular number is less than 19, do you know the reason why we are saying that when x is greater than 19? You can see that we have a positive difference. So the first one is, when that number is greater than 19, we have to subtract 19 from that number to have a positive difference. If the number is greater than 19, it means that number is the larger number and 19 is the smaller number. So for us to get a positive difference, we have to subtract 19 from it. But when that number is now less than 19, for us to get a positive difference, we have to subtract that number from 19. To get a positive difference, you have to subtract a smaller number from a larger number. Since that number is less than 19, we have to subtract that number from 19. But when the number is greater than 19, we subtract 19 from the number. So the second situation is 19 minus x equals 53. Now we have positive 19 here. We are looking for x. We have positive 19 here. To eradicate this positive 19, we introduce minus 19. And whatever we do to this side, we also do it to this side. So plus 19 minus 19 will give 0. 0 minus x will give what? Negative x, equals to 53 minus 19, which implies that negative x equals 53 minus 19 will give what? 34. So negative x equals 34. We are looking for x, not negative x. So we divide through by the coefficient of x, which is minus 1. So when we divide this side by minus 1, we have x, and when we divide this side by minus 1, we have minus 34. Therefore, if that number is less than x, it is less than 19, it means that number is minus 34. And we should do 19 minus 34. Minus multiplied by minus will give plus. 19 plus 34 will give what? 53. So those are the two possible values we can have for that number which is subtracted, in which is different and 19 is 53. The two possible values is either the number is greater than 19, which is 72, or the number is less than 19, which is minus 34. And that is considered because we have a positive difference. So the second question says we should find the positive difference between 86 and 103. For us to have a positive difference, from the question we are instructed that the difference should be positive. And for us to have a positive difference, we have to subtract the smaller number from the larger number. And from the question, the smaller number is 86 and the larger number is 103. So that's why we have 103 minus 86, which is what? 17. Assuming we did 86 minus 103, we have minus 17, which is a negative difference. But the question says positive difference. So therefore, the positive difference between 103 and 86 is what? 17. So that's that. So move to the third question. The third question, we already talked about it in sum. That is how to find consecutive number. Consecutive numbers are numbers that follow each other simultaneously, like 1, 2, 3, 8, 9, 10, and so on. So let the first number be x. So if the first number is x, you should know that the difference between consecutive number is 1. So for you to get the second consecutive number, you add 1 to the first consecutive number, and for you to get the third consecutive number, you add 1 to the second consecutive number. And that is what we have here. X plus 1 is the second consecutive number, and x plus 2 is the third consecutive number. So from the question, we are told that the difference of these three consecutive numbers we don't know is minus 81. So we take the difference of the first, second, and third. This second from the first and the third from the second. That's why we have x minus x plus 1 minus x plus 2 equals minus 81. Now we open the bracket. I think you should know how to expand bracket. X minus times plus will give minus. So we have x minus x. Minus times plus will give minus. I think you know those rules. Minus multiplied by minus equals plus. Plus multiplied by minus equals minus. Minus multiplied by plus equals minus. And plus multiplied by plus equals plus. And that's the rule we have here. If you have an ordinary number, if you write 2, it also means positive 2. So this x means positive x. So you use this minus to open this bracket and this minus to open this bracket. And that's why we have x minus x minus 1 minus x minus 2. So this is what we got. Minus times plus, is minus. So we have x minus x. Minus times plus is minus. So we have x minus x minus 1. Minus 1 times plus x, we have minus x. Minus 1, anything, if you write ordinary x, it means 1x. So this means 1 multiplied by x plus 2. So minus 1 times plus 2 will give what? Minus 2 equals minus 81. So we have x minus x minus 1 minus x minus 2 equals minus 81. And that's it here. Like in the previous lesson, you collect like times, you put the variables in one side and you put the numbers in one side. X minus x is like you saying 1 minus 1. It's going to give you what? 0. X minus x gives 0, and that 0 minus this x, 0 minus 1 will give minus 1. So it's also the same as saying 0 minus x is going to give what? Minus x. So these are the numbers minus 1, minus 2. You owe somebody 1 naira. You also owe 2 naira. It means you are owing. Negative means debt. You are owing 3 naira. So you have minus x minus 3 equals minus 81. So now you collect the like terms. This is a variable. These are numbers. So for you to eradicate minus 3, you introduce what? Plus 3. So if you should put plus 3 here, minus 3 plus 3, you owe somebody 3 naira. You have 3 naira. When you pay, you are left with nothing. So minus x minus 3 plus 3 is same thing as saying minus x plus 0, and you have minus x. equals minus 81. You know, whatever you do to this side, you also do it to this side. Minus 81 plus 3, which you introduce here, you give minus 78. But we are looking for ordinary x, not negative x. So what is the coefficient of x here? Minus 1. You know, I said whenever you have minus x, same thing as saying minus 1x. So the coefficient of x here is minus 1. So you divide this side and this side by minus 1. So when you divide this side by minus 1, minus, they cancel minus, you are left with x. If you divide this by minus 1, that minus in the front of 1 and this minus will also cancel. So the first number, the first consecutive number is what? 78, because it is x. So the first number is x equals 78. The second number is what? X plus 1. 78 plus 1 will give 79. And the third number is x plus 2, which is 78 plus 2, which is 80. If you want to check if your answer is correct, you say therefore the three consecutive numbers whose difference is minus are 78, 79 and 80. So let's check if our answer is correct. 78 minus 79 will give what? Minus 1. 79 minus 78 we give 78 minus 79 we give minus 1. Minus 1 minus 80 we give minus 81. So that's how to check if your answer is correct. So the second question says the difference of three consecutive odd numbers also gives minus 207. So we already know the generating function of odd numbers in the previous lesson, which is 2n minus 1. And you know that for you to get the difference between odd numbers is 2. So for you to get the second odd number, you add 2 to the first odd number. And for you to get the third odd number, you add 2 to the second odd number, which is what we have here. The only difference here is that we are looking for the difference, not the sum. So from the question, we are told that the difference of the three consecutive odd numbers is minus 207. So that is the first odd number, so minus, you subtract the second odd number from the first odd number, and then when you get the result, you subtract the third odd number from it, and the result will be minus 207. So now, like the first example, we open the bracket. 2n minus 1, and this is like positive 1 multiplied by 2n, you have 2n. Positive 1 multiplied by minus 1, no, positive multiplied by negative, we give negative. 1 multiplied by 1, we give 1. So here we have negative 1 to open the bracket. Negative 1 multiplied by positive 2n. Negative multiplied by positive, we give negative. 1 multiplied by 2n, we give 2n. And negative 1 multiplied by positive 1. Negative multiplied by positive, we give negative. 1 multiplied by 1, we give 1. Negative 1 multiplied by 2n plus 3 is same thing as this. Negative 1 multiplied by positive 2n will give negative 2n. And negative 1 multiplied by positive 3 is like minus multiplied by plus, we give minus. 1 multiplied by 3 will give 3, equals minus 207. Then next thing is for you to what? Combine. You collect the like terms, variables on one side and numbers on the other side. So here 2n minus 2n is 0. It's like you saying that 10 minus 10, 5 minus 5, you can see they are the same number. 2n minus 2n will give 0. 0 minus 2n will give minus 2n. Minus 1 minus 1 minus 3. You owe 1 naira, you have not paid it. You owe another 1 naira, you haven't paid it. You owe another 3 naira, you haven't paid it. It means you are owing what? 5 naira, which is negative 5. That is just a real life application of how to add and subtract numbers. Equals what? Minus 207. You can see that we still have mixture of variables and numbers. So you combine them together. For you to eradicate minus 5, what will you do? You introduce positive 5 to this side. You know, minus 5 plus 5, you owe 5 naira, you are paying the 5 naira back. What are you left with? You are left with nothing, which is 0. That is why we want to we introduce plus 5 to eradicate minus 5. And whatever you do to the left hand side, you also do it to the right hand side. So you introduce plus 5 here too. So minus 2n minus 5 plus 5 will be equals to what? Minus 2n plus 0, which is still minus 2n, equals minus 207 plus 5 will give what? Minus 202. You hold somebody 207 and you pay 5 naira from it. You are still left with 202 that you still owe that person. That is just a real life application. So here we are not looking for minus 2n, we are looking for ordinary n. So what will you do? You divide this side and this side by the coefficient of n, which is what? Minus 2. You carry it along with its sign. Sign is very important in mathematics. The moment you make a mistake with the sign, you have a wrong answer. So if you divide this side by minus 2, we are left with n. Divide this side by minus 2, minus, we cancel minus. It's like you saying minus 1 divided by minus 1 is 1, because you can see minus 1 in minus 1 once. So that's why I say minus, we cancel minus. 202 divided by 2 is 101. So n is 101. Now you start fixing the value of n into the expressions we have for the odd numbers. The first odd number is 2n minus 1, which is 2 multiplied by 101 minus 1. 2 multiplied by 101 is 202, minus 1 will be 201. The second odd number is what? 2n plus 1. 2 multiplied by minus 01 plus 1, that's 202 plus 1, 203. And the third odd number is what? 2n plus 3. 2 multiplied by 101, 202 plus 3, 205. So the three consecutive odd number whose difference is minus 203 is 201, 203, and 205. So let's check if it is correct. 201 minus 203, you can see that the number we are subtracting from the other, we are subtracting a larger number from a smaller number, so we are expected to have a negative difference. You have 201 and you are owing somebody 203. If you pay the 201, you are still left with 2 naira that you haven't paid, so that is minus 2. So you subtract minus 2, you subtract minus 205 from that minus 2. You are owing somebody minus 2 naira, you haven't paid. You now owe the person 205 naira again. That means you are owing the person 207 naira. That is minus 207, which means our answer is what? Correct. Now we move to the next question, which is on even number. From the previous lesson, we already taught how to generate the generating functions of even number, which is 2n. How to get the second odd number, the difference between even numbers, is 2. So for you to get the second even number, you add 2 to the first even number. For you to get the third even number, you add 2 to the second even number. For you to get the fourth even number, you add 2 to the third even number, and so on. So from the question, the difference of the three consecutive even numbers is what? Minus 110. So that is this minus this minus this will give 110. Like we do in the previous example, we expand, we open the bracket with this sign. This is minus 1, minus 1. So if you really understand what we've been doing in the previous questions, this is 2n, this plus 1 multiplied by 2n, you still have a 2n back, minus 1 multiplied by positive 2n, you have negative 2n, because minus multiplied by a plus will give minus, and 1 multiplied by 2n will give 2n. That's why we have minus 2n. Minus 1 multiplied by plus 2 will give minus 2. Minus 1 multiplied by 2n will give minus 2n. And minus 1 multiplied by 4 will give minus 4, equals minus 110. So this is what I'm trying to say. 2n minus 2n minus 2 minus 2n minus 4 equals minus 110. Now we collect the like terms. You put the variable in one side and the numbers in the other side. So 2n minus 2n will give 0. You can see that these are the ones that have variable in them. And 0 minus 2n will give negative 2n. So minus 2 minus 4, like I've explained with the real life application, we have minus 6 equals to minus 110. So to eradicate this minus 6, you introduce positive 6. So when you introduce positive 6 here, you are left with minus 2n. If you whatever you do to the left hand side, you also do it to the right hand side. If you add plus 6 here, you have minus 104, which means you are owing somebody 110 naira and you paid 6 naira out of it. You are left with a debt of 104 naira. So now to have ordinary n here, that is to make n the sort of formula, what will you do? You divide both sides by minus 2, because minus 2 is the coefficient of n. When you divide this side by minus 2, you are left with n. When you divide this side by minus 2, you know minus, we cancel the minus, and 104 divided by 2 is 52. So n is 52. So you plug in the value of n into the even numbers, the expression for the even numbers, so that you can get a value for them. The first even number is what? 2n. That is 2 multiplied by 52, which is 104. The second even number is 2n plus 2, which is 2 multiplied by 52, 104 plus 2, 106. And the third even number is what? 2n plus 4, which is 2 multiplied by 52, 104 plus 4, 108. Therefore, the three consecutive even number. So the three consecutive even numbers whose difference is minus 110 and 104, 106 and 108, and you can then check if it is correct. 104 minus 106 will give minus 2, minus 2 minus 108 will give minus 10. So that's that. Now we move to the sixth question, which says we should that 4 consecutive negative numbers are subtracted from one another and the result is 12. We already know that for you to get the second negative number, you have to subtract 1 from the first negative number. To get the third negative number, you subtract 1 from the second negative number, and so on. So the first negative number is a. You can use any variable you like. The second negative number will be what? Subtract 1 from the first negative number, which is a minus 1. The third negative number is a minus 2. That is, subtract 1 from the second negative number, and the fourth negative number is a minus 3. That is, when you subtract 1 from the third negative number. And from the question, the difference of these 4 consecutive negative numbers is what? 12. So that is, the first one minus the second one minus the third one minus the fourth one equals 12. Now we open the bracket. Plus 1 multiplied by a will still give a. Minus 1 multiplied by positive a, you know we have minus a, because minus multiplied by plus is minus. 1 multiplied by a is a. Now here we have minus 1 multiplied by minus 1. Minus multiplied by minus will give plus. Like I said, I gave you 4 rules. Minus multiplied by minus equals plus. Plus multiplied by minus equals minus. Minus multiplied by plus equals minus. And plus multiplied by plus equals plus. So those are the rules you follow here. Minus multiplied by minus will give plus. 1 multiplied by 1 will give 1. Minus multiplied by plus, you know we have positive a here. Minus multiplied by plus will give minus. 1 multiplied by a will give 1a, which can also be written as a. Minus multiplied by minus will give plus. 1 multiplied by 2 will give 2. Minus multiplied by plus will give minus. 1 multiplied by a to give 1a, which can be written as a. Minus multiplied by minus will give plus. 1 multiplied by 3 will give 3 equals 12. Now you solve. You collect like terms. The variables on one side, the numbers on the other side. So a minus a is 0. 0 minus a is what? Minus a. And minus a minus a is minus 2a. It's like saying minus 1 minus 1. You know it's minus 2. This same as minus 2 multiplied by 1. That's why we have minus 2a. And here 1 plus 2 plus 3 equals 6. Equals to what? 12. Now we collect like terms. The variable will be on one side of the equals to sign, and the numbers will be on the other side of the equals to sign. So now, as you have been told in the other examples we've solved, for you to eradicate plus 6, you introduce negative 6, and whatever you do to this side, you also do it to this side. So negative minus 2a plus 6 minus 6, which we have introduced, plus 6 minus 6 will give 0, minus 2a plus 0 will give minus 2a, and here whatever you do to this side you also do to this side. Since we introduce minus 6 to this side, we introduce it to this side. 12 minus 6 will also give what? 6. So we are looking for ordinary a, not minus 2a. So we divide through by the coefficient of a, divide through by minus 2, and we are left with a equals minus 3, which means the first negative number is minus 3. The second negative number will be what? Minus 3 minus 1, which is minus 4. The third negative number will be minus 3 minus 2, which is minus 5. And the fourth negative number is minus 3 minus 3, which is minus 6. Therefore, the four consecutive negative numbers whose difference is 12 is what? Minus 3 minus 4 minus 5 minus 6. So if you should check minus 3 minus minus 4 minus minus 5 minus minus 6, you have to get 12. So that's that, and that's the solution of the examples. Now these are exercises for you to solve and submit latest by Monday evening. The first one says, what is the positive difference between 7 and 15? I've explained that. So we are also asked to find the positive difference between 114 and minus 4. The third question says the difference of 3 consecutive whole numbers is minus 93. You find the numbers. The fourth one says difference of 3 consecutive odd numbers is minus 117. You find the numbers. The fifth question and sixth question. So next video we also continue with word problem. That one will be on product and fractions, how to interpret fraction into numerical expression. So until then, thanks.